What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. So obviously Fiat pivot happened, the rate cut of 0.5% is in place. So the question now remains, which sectors will benefit from this Fiat pivot the most and which one will be the worst ones to be invested in? In today's short video, let's talk about these potential investment opportunities. So yeah, this was the very first rate cut since 2020, the so-called Fiat pivot. And according to data which was analyzed by Pinpoint all the way since 1973 until 2024, whenever such events did happen, some sectors were demonstrating better performance than the others. I mean, once again, it is very hard and better not to rely on the past experiences for your future results. But anyways, here is the data proven to be working for the last 50-60 years. The very first sector which benefits the most is the consumer cyclical and consumer non-cyclical segments. This is relatively straight to the point because whenever the interest rates are lowered, the economic activity go up, people start to spend more money and, well, buy more stuff. Simple as that. That is why these are the two sectors which increase the most, returning approximately around 7% annual returns. The second sector is IT, yielding approximately 5.2% 12 months after Fiat pivot, and here it is also relatively simple to understand. These are the companies which rely heavily on borrowed capital for which they need to make interest payments. And obviously whenever the interest payments are lower because of the lower interest rates in the first place, they can reuse this money towards more beneficial activities rather than just paying down its debt, which in return increases the upper, bottom, and top lines. And the third sector is the healthcare, yielding approximately 4.5% 12 months after Fiat pivot, and this one is rather interesting. Because historically this was considered a defensive sector, and if you think about it like 2 steps ahead, whenever Feds start to reduce the interest rates, it basically means that something potentially about to happen in the near or relatively near future. So maybe we're gonna have a correction or a recession, and once again, this is where sectors such as the healthcare comes in very handy. And now let's talk about the worst sectors when the interest rates start to decrease. And obviously the very first and the most obvious one that comes to the mind is the financial sector, because a lot of money, banks and financial organizations, how they make money is once again tightly related to interest rates. If the interest rates are high, they can charge higher mortgages. If the interest rates are high, the credit card bills are higher, the interest rates on credit cards are higher, financing car gets more expensive, and so on. So this one is also very straight to the point. The second worst sector is utilities, approximately losing 7.6% of its value 12 months after Fiat pivot, which is a little bit counterintuitive because this sector is more or less also considered to be defensive sector as the healthcare, but well, data shows that this utilities sector, it underperforms after Fiat pivot. And the third sector which is influenced the most is the energy sector, and just like the previous one, which is relatively considered to be a defense sector, but this one is also heavily related to the cyclicality of the economical activity within particular country, America in our case. So whenever the Fiat pivots do happen, and if the economy is in a different cycle, this might not significantly influence the performance of the energy sector, but if it's unfavorable conditions right now for the energy sector and then Fiat pivot happens, well, potentially this might make the situation even worse for them. There are many other reasons to explain this, but this is so far what the experts found the most reliable, the most explainable, the most valid reason to explain why this happens. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if this was interesting, informative, or both, and see you on Monday.